When did being African start being cool? Well, let me tell you something. It always was. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nilia Sangare, aka Ivorian Queen. If you are new, thank you and welcome to my channel. This channel is basically sharing African culture through food, music, and lifestyle. So I did a poll on IG and you guys really wanted to know what my experience was like growing up African in America / like my school story. Hopefully I don't make it too long because I have some deets. So by now, if you didn't know, I'm from La Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast. I was born and raised there till I was 8 and moved here. My dad was already in the States prior to my mom and I coming. So October 17th, 2004, little Noria and her mommy packed up and left for Syracuse, New York. Upstate, Cuse Nation. Now keep in mind that I'm from a place with like an average temperature of like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So as soon as I stepped out of that JFK airport and that wind hit me,
I never expected it.
I knew I was out of place. Big shocker. So I had to be enrolled in school and I only knew French and Jula, my native tongue. Luckily, I wasn't sent back a grade or two like most kids are when they first come to America. I went to the 4th grade. I can actually remember the teacher who welcomed me at H.W. Smith, Mr. Britt, introducing me, hey guys, we have a new student here. I only knew the words yes or no. English wasn't that strange of a language to me because back home my dad was the English professor and so I was used to like hearing it. But back home in Côte d'Ivoire, when I would play with my friends and I wanted to impress them and stuff like, ah,
my dad is the English professor,
I would literally just make up words that sounded like jumble mumble and they would actually believe me that I spoke English, but that did not help me in that class. I was just there like, okay, yes, no. That's all I knew. So from then on, I started ESL classes, English as a second language. And you know, I was there were a lot of kids in the ESL classes, like kids from Bosnia, kids from Mexico, Burma, Sudan. I would manage my ESL classes and I would try and manage, you know, my regular classes as well. I would say everything was going 50-50. However, I got bullied. Yes. I remember the names, but I'm not going to mention them. There were these two girls, they were best friends, and they would literally bully me verbally, not physically. You know, in gym class, I'm just there. They would always just like look at me and start laughing for no reason. When the gym teacher was just like explaining like things, I don't know what he's saying, so I'm just like looking all around. The tall one would be like,
what you looking at? Duh, you ugly African.
I'm like, what is duh? I don't know what does. I understood the African part, but I was just like, look away. I don't know what she's saying. The bullying honestly came from some Black American kids and African kids. Yes, they would literally make fun of me, but if they were not African, they wouldn't target them. I feel like they were doing that because they wanted to fit in. And I'm like, weren't you just in that similar situation like a few years ago? And the thing is, white kids were, oh my god, they loved what we were wearing. They loved everything. They were very inquisitive, but it's always like your own people, you know? So this was around the time there was also the African booty scratcher. They'll be like, go back to your hut.
Did you run with lions?
Well, I don't really run at all. Time passed on, they forgot about the old ones that are there. And there's also newer people coming. I would see them bullying, like kids from Burundi, Congo. Ooh, there's too much. We would be in the bus on the way to like home. As soon as like the kids come in, they would like start like clicking at them. And then, ew, you smell weird. Or why you always smell like food? Like they'd be like, hey yo, can I move to another seat? Because I don't know, these people are stinking. I would still sometimes get that, especially when I would bring my food to the cafeteria. They'd be like,
ew, what's that smell? What you eating?
It look like doo-doo. I'm like, doo-doo. My food looks like poop. My food looks like doo-doo.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
2006, 2007, I went to middle school and still dead. People would try and mess with me. Like, there was this one time, this one girl, we're going back home, right? In the bus, and she's talking shit in the back about me. I almost fought her, literally physically. You know me, do you know me back home? Back home, I didn't give a crap who you were. If you talk about me, I'll beat you up. The thing where you go and you come home and you cry, oh mommy, they beat me, or they said something about me, they will add it on top. be like, next time you better defend yourself before you come and talk to me. I literally got up from my seat. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what?
Nah, yo, hold my poodle. Hold my poodle. Hey, yo, what's up? Y'all got a problem?
Let's go. I was about to throw the first punch. The bus driver calmed us down. My parents will be like, oh, here, just, you know, we don't want any issues. There's police, all that stuff. No, that day I was ready. And it wasn't even me too. There were other African kids fighting other kids who were bullying them because enough was enough. You know, we were tired. It was a struggle being an immigrant kid. Even like the teachers would struggle with my name all the time. You know, like I knew when they were about to get to my name. You see them on the list like,
oh my God.
No. So to the point that I had to alter my name to sound more American. They wouldn't even put the effort to pronounce the Noor part. So I'm like Noria. So throughout school, everywhere, people were calling me Noria. My name is Nuria. Enough is enough. Like, you need to learn to pronounce my name. So obviously, yeah, I had some bullies here and there. There were also like other really nice Black American kids, and I met some African kids along too, and we like really stuck through and like continued being cool all the way to like high school. And we slowly started forming our crew. Out of the crew, there was mainly one girl that I was always with. Shout out to Aviva. We're mainly friends because my family and her family were close. That's the thing. An African growing up here, if your parents don't know anybody, you're not hanging with that person. I'll get into that more. We had a different situation at home. I was trying to learn English too, but also I had to manage still speaking French and Jula because I couldn't forget both. Sometimes I would honestly mix all three of the languages in one sentence. But I remember like watching like, you know, PBS Kids. We didn't have cable because my parents thought that was a waste of money. Why waste money on cable when you have public TV that's like good enough? I would watch like Arthur, Barney, Sesame Street just to, you know, better my English. My dad was also a big factor because he would literally sit my mom and I do English lessons at night sometimes. They watch me there trying to correct my mom.
Like, Mom, that's not how you say it. You say this.
She would look at me like up and down like Inyamorode. That means bastard in my language. She wasn't having it. So my parents definitely made sure, especially my mom, she definitely made sure that I still kept like my culture and stuff. Just because we were in America didn't mean I would forget the customs I've learned. Punishments, there was literally like you take your ears and pump up, pump down until your knees are just like shaking like this. Oh, there was a wooden spoon. That one came mainly when we were doing homework. I would do math homework with my mom. Trying to do math homework with an African mom.
Serena 5. You there, Chris? Where you skin?
It would end up into crying. Let me not give you the wrong impression of Mama. She was very chill too, compared to some other friends of mine and their parents. I remember in high school there was this Sweet 16 party. I'm gonna say her name, Janasia. Janasia had a Sweet 16 party. I don't even know why I bothered to ask when I knew they were gonna say no. So I asked, we don't know them? You're not going. Apparently, it was the littest party ever, but I had to miss it. So there's like a typical African parent stereotype where they want you to only to become a lawyer, engineer, or doctor. They were never like that. They never really pressured me. So basically, towards the end of high school, 2012, 2013, that being African like in school was lit and popping. Oh no! We would have our multicultural days. The school I went to was very, very diverse. There were so many nationalities, so we'd have multicultural day. People would show, you know, they wear your clothes and cook foods and do performances from different countries. And you know, Africans, we were there doing our thing. So that's like when, you know, Afro beats started coming out. I actually performed at the multicultural dance. We would like, you know, tie our wrapper, do azonto, now watch me do azonto, you know, stuff like that. It was like a breath of fresh air. Like African culture being accepted within our school and society slowly, you know? That was also the time when people started wearing dashikis. The dashiki were popping at that time. We were proud to wear our clothes those days, throughout the school year even. I'm like, wow, what a change, you know? So during that time, I had also developed the hobby of making jewelry and purses from African prints and wax. So I would actually make those and like wear them and rock it, you know? Like I didn't care. I loved being African. I loved it. Like nothing was gonna stop me from wearing my clothes. Nothing was gonna stop me from eating my food. Nothing would stop me from representing. And people started seeing that the accessories I was wearing, they actually asked me, oh, if I could make some for them for prom, you know, like the earrings and the bow ties in African print. I made. And then we also had like African teachers, like shout out to Miss Ali and Miss Joseph. You know, they would wear their African prints. Sometimes people loved them and they were there for us to support us. We also had like an African table. So it was like super poppin', you know, all of us would just come out there and just chill, like even during lunch and stuff. It was just really, really fun. We kind of made them feel a little envious. But me personally, I had a mix of friends, so I would honestly do back and forth between the tables, you know, there. It just brings me to today where, you know, you're seeing all these challenges of TikTokers eating African fufu and egusi, or listening to African music on the radio, artists including, you know, Afro beats in their songs and collaborating with artists from Africa. You know, we're elevating, we're coming up. Everything African is being celebrated. It's like we made it poppin'.
All have gifts you cannot throw.
It started with us. It started with us. So this video is not to bash Black American kids or white kids or anything like that. It's just my personal experience growing here with the African parents on the side and the school issues on the side, you know, and the struggles I had to go through. But despite that, I still stuck through. I feel like it even made me embrace the culture even more. Going on to college from that, I've continued to advocate for African culture, and I will continue doing so through my channel. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I will see you guys in my next video. Go Vizu! Mwah!